Here are 5 signs that you might not need the Fujifilm X100VI. Now let me be straight with you, I am a huge Fujifilm fan. I predominantly shoot with Fujifilm, and wherever I can, I always recommend their cameras. But with Fujifilm's latest offering, I can't quite get behind it, and here are some reasons why. Now, like I said, I'm a big Fujifilm fan, and I have been toying with this issue for a long time. Even before it came out, it was on the back of my mind as to if I would purchase the X100VI. Now, not so long ago, I was able to go out with a friend, and we went round Chiang Mai and shot with the X100VI, and we compared our photography against one another with my Ricoh GR3X. And however impressed I was with the footage and the photographs of the X100VI, I wasn't fully convinced. Before we jump into the video, I just want to let you know about my latest zine that's out there. I'm currently traveling Southeast Asia, and volume 4 of Field Notes is out now. And this one is all about Hanoi, and it comes with a free preset, and it's on sale. And all of my other zines are on sale, so go check them out in the link below. So let's delve into why I will not be purchasing the X100VI. Okay, so the first thing is its video capabilities. You might be thinking, well, they're better. Why wouldn't you be impressed, kind of enamored with what they're giving us here? Well, I don't see the X100 series as a hybrid line of cameras. I see them as digital point and shoots, all the way from the X100 to the X100VI. I see them as a camera that slings round my neck, and I go out on the daily taking photos. Now, it is a marvel of how they've got all of this under the hood, but is it necessary? Do I need 10-bit 422 6.2K resolution in my camera for a fixed focal length, mind you, as well? And for me, the answer is no. Now, I already own the X Pro 3, and when I bought that camera, I thought one of the advantages was having 4K 30 under the hood of that camera. And let me tell you, I have only ever shot with that twice. So however appealing it is to have all that functionality, it just might not be necessary. And if you are predominantly a photographer, you got to think, is this really worth it? Now, the second thing is because it has all those wonderful video features, it comes with IBIS, which again sounds fantastic on paper, but how necessary is it? If anything, it has added 43 grams to the weight of it and 2 millimeters extra to the size of it, which is now starting to take away from it being a little kind of point and shoot camera. It's trying to become a hybrid camera, and that is something that for me is not really what I want. And if you are a photographer, it might not be for you. As you can tell, all the reasons I'm giving you are because the camera has gotten better. That's not a bad thing, and for some people who are literally only buying this one camera lineup, if you're going from the X100V to the X100VI, then maybe this is for you. But if you're like me and you have other Fujifilm cameras, then this could be, like I said, slightly pointless. Number 3 is it's not fully weather resistant. You still have to buy an adapter and a lens filter. That way it will be fully weather resistant and will stop dust, rain, etc. getting onto your sensor and, you know, damaging your camera. So obviously note that before buying this camera too. The fourth thing I'm really not that fond of is how much this camera is in demand. It has been backlogged for a long while, and it's really hard to get your hands on this camera. It's probably one of the most successful camera outings we've had for a long time, with everyone wanting to get their hands on it, which of course has bloated the price of it and therefore much more expensive than the predecessor. I think it comes in at around 1500 USD, which is a lot for a fixed lens digital point and shoot. There are other alternatives out there that are far cheaper, and especially if you're looking for a hybrid setup, there is the XS20, which I previously owned and would still gravitate towards that more than the X100VI. If you are a hybrid shooter, I would definitely advise looking at something like that, Or if you're looking for cheaper options in terms of a digital point and shoot, have a look at something like the Ricoh GR3 or the GR3X. Those cameras are phenomenal. I talk about them a lot on this channel, and I feel that that could be a better way in if you're just getting into using digital point and shoots. Now, the last kind of note I'd like to say, and I've sort of read about this a lot, is that this camera seems to be made for content creators. Now, that might seem controversial. You have to ask yourself, is this camera gonna make me a better photographer, better filmmaker? If you can answer that solidly in your head, then yes, this camera is for you. Go out and put your name on the waiting list. But if you're just buying it for clout or to get likes, views, etc., then I would definitely kind of re-examine what you're getting this camera for. Content creation is a huge market now, and if you are a content creator, then that's great, you know, all power to you. And if that's what you're trying to do, is garner an audience that is interested in the gear that you buy, then, you know, like I said, all power to you. But if you are a photographer and you are trying to level up your photography, then I think that there are cheaper, just as good alternatives. Fujifilm has been around for years, and they have produced some of the best well-known cameras out there. And if Fujifilm is where you're heading, you could easily pick yourself up a much cheaper used Fujifilm X100T F. You know, there are predecessors before the 6. If you're just trying to follow the herd, then I think you have to re-examine what your motives are. And yes, let's be honest, the image quality in the X100VI is fantastic, without doubt. But who out there is chucking on a Pro Mist filter or adding grain, making them look, you know, more like film? Who out there is trying to do that? Who's trying to emulate those film stocks? I know that I am, and to make something incredibly sharp and then bring it down seems a bit counterintuitive. So yeah, you can still do that with other alternative cameras. To round up this video, my point is I am not slagging this camera off, even though it may seem I am. What I'm trying to do is give you some perspective, and I'm trying to give you the reasons why I have not purchased this camera, and I probably won't. There are just cheaper, just as good alternatives out there, and I feel like unless it's going to benefit my photography in some way, I think I'm going to have to pass. But like I was trying to say, it is a phenomenal camera. They have put everything under the hood. You know, where are they going to go with the next one? If they do make a next one, you know, it's too soon to be talking about that. But what Fujifilm really do is they provide a great user experience with their cameras. So hats off to them, because they have created something that has made some waves. It really has made, you know, big movements in the camera tech world. And also it has got people out there shooting. So if you are predominantly a shooter in the X100 line, I think this is fine. Keep doing you, just, you know, buy the camera that you want. But if you are like me, you might have a budget, you're considering other cameras, maybe you should pass on this. If you're thinking this is a hybrid camera, I would pass on this too. I think there are better alternatives, cheaper alternatives that Fujifilm kind of offer. So go check them out. Like I said, the XS20 is a really, really good camera. It does have some overheating problems, one of the reasons why I sold it, but that's only because I'm in Asia right now where the climate is much warmer. And I think, and I have heard about the X100 overheating, especially when, you know, shooting video. So like I said, I hope this has been of help. This is not to be in any way negative, but it's good to have a rounded kind of consensus on this camera. You know, it's just a camera. You make the art. Anyway, look, thank you for watching. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. I will try to get back to you as fast as I can, and I will see you in the next one.